When the Harper family moved into 14 Willow Lane, they thought they had finally found peace. A quiet neighborhood, a bigger house, a fresh start. But some homes don't want new owners. Some homes remember the things done within their walls. And some paintings were never meant to be seen again. The Harpers arrived just past noon, sunlight stretching across the hallway as movers carried in boxes. Michael walked ahead with a smile, whispering to his wife Lillian, "This is it, our new beginning." Ava, their 11-year-old daughter, wandered down the hallway, dragging her fingertips along the wall. She stopped. At the end of the corridor hung an enormous old painting, a relic the previous owners never removed. The faces inside it were blurred, twisted, smeared in black and red brushstrokes that didn't seem random, but emotional, alive. Michael laughed nervously when he first noticed it. "Ugly thing. We'll take it down tomorrow." But Ava didn't move. Her eyes widened just a little, as if she heard something, a breath behind the canvas, a sigh inside the frame. The house welcomed them, quietly, patiently. The first night should have been peaceful, but at 2:17 a.m., a sharp thud struck the hallway wall, then another, then a third, each one heavier. Lillian sat up in bed. "Michael, did you hear that?" The walls groaned. A muffled scream echoed from inside the plaster, as if someone were trapped behind the paint. They rushed into the hallway. Ava clung to her mother, trembling. Burnt handprints stained the wall, fresh, blackened, smoking faintly. And the painting had changed. One of the blurred figures now had a shape, a head, shoulders, a vague outline of a man. Michael stepped forward, voice shaking. That wasn't there earlier. The house had awakened, and it wasn't finished remembering. The next morning, Lillian returned to the hallway alone, unable to ignore the unease twisting in her gut. She touched the painting's frame, and something slipped loose behind it. A folded, burned letter. The edges were blackened, as though pulled from a fire. In trembling handwriting, "Do not feed the wall. It remembers everything." Lillian searched online for the house's history and found nothing at first. But older newspaper scans revealed the truth. A painter once lived here. Elias Rourke. A man obsessed with capturing the final breath of suffering. 15 disappearances connected to him. No bodies ever found. No proof. Only rumors that his art used bone ash, blood, and preserved skin as mediums. Lillian stared at the painting. Its colors pulsed, slow, like a heartbeat. The house wasn't hiding its history. It was waiting for them to uncover it. That night, while the Harpers ate dinner, Ava whispered, "Mom, it changed again." They stepped into the hallway. A new figure had appeared in the painting, a charred silhouette, human-shaped, but warped. Wet paint dripped upward, defying gravity, as if something inside the painting clawed its way toward freedom. Lillian raised her phone to take a picture. Her hands shook. The hallway lights flickered, snapping on and off in violent bursts. Michael pulled Ava back. "Stay behind me." But the painting seemed to stare back, breathing, waiting, growing. The house no longer hid anything. Shadows reformed into bodies. Ghostly figures replayed the last moments of their lives. A drowned woman stood by the couch, hair floating around her face as water pooled at her feet. A hanging silhouette twisted slowly in the corner, ropes creaking though no rope existed. A jawless woman crawled across the floor, bloodless mouth gaping open in silent agony. Ava screamed as the spirits drifted around her, stopping just inches away. Every time a ghost vanished, the painting behind them updated, strokes changing, new faces added, expressions warped in terror. Michael grabbed his family. "We're leaving this house!" But the front door wouldn't open, not even an inch. The house had already chosen them. Michael entered the bathroom to wash his face, but froze. In the mirror's reflection stood a tall man behind him. Pale, charcoal black hands, face smeared like wet paint sliding downward. Elias Rourke. Michael spun around. No one stood behind him. Only the reflection showed the truth. Lillian and Ava ran in as the lights flickered. In the mirror, Elias leaned closer, his fingers dripping thick black liquid. His voice didn't speak aloud, but inside their minds. "I still need more subjects." The mirror cracked. Ava started sleepwalking. Every night at exactly 3:11 a.m., she rose from bed, blank-eyed, drifting toward the painting. One night, Lillian caught her, but Ava's fingers were dipped in black paint, shimmering in the moonlight. The painting now showed a child-sized silhouette holding a brush. The walls vibrated softly. Floorboards rattled. Smoke drifted out from behind the frame. Ava whispered while asleep, "Let me finish. Let me finish." Michael lifted her in his arms, but the painting watched them leave. The child silhouette now turning its head toward the family. A door appeared in the hallway the next morning. A door none of them remembered. Michael pushed it open. Inside was a hidden art studio, dim, claustrophobic, suffocating. Canvases of stretched skin hung on the walls. Brushes dipped in dried, cracked red pigment sat untouched for years. A single blank canvas stood on an easel. Outlined perfectly was Ava's silhouette. Lillian shoved Ava behind her. Michael whispered, What is this place?" The room answered with a slow creak, as if something unseen shifted its weight. That afternoon, Ava screamed. The hallway pulled her toward the painting, floorboards sliding beneath her, as if the house itself shifted to drag her closer. Michael and Lillian hurled themselves after her, grabbing her arms. Her fingernails scraped the floor. From the painting, a burned, ghostly hand emerged, reaching, grabbing, pulling. The canvas rippled like water, swirling with darkness. Ava's legs disappeared into the frame, until Michael tore her free with a roar. Her skin was stained with red and blue paint. Embedded beneath the surface, pulsing softly. The house convulsed, walls bent, rooms overlapped. Reality folded in on itself. The spirit victims reenacted their final moments. But now they grabbed Michael and Lillian, trying to force them into the positions where they once died. Michael felt icy hands shove him into a hanging stance. Lillian was pushed toward an invisible drowning pool. Ava backed away, crying, unable to look. The painting glowed bright red, pulsing like a heartbeat. Every pulse reshaped the house. Every pulse dragged them closer to their fate. Elias Rourke was rebuilding his masterpiece with live subjects. The painting tore open. A storm of shadows burst outward, swirling through the hallway. Charcoal black paint splashed across the floor. Elias stepped out, fully formed, dripping, smiling faintly. Michael shielded his family. Elias tilted his head, studying them like unfinished artwork. His voice dripped like wet ink. A masterpiece needs closure. The walls darkened. The shadows grew arms, legs, faces, and the house exhaled, hungry. The Harpers ran, but the house shifted around them, leading them back to the hallway. Elias lifted his brush. One stroke, and Michael froze. Another. and Lillian's mouth opened in a silent scream. A third. And Ava's eyes widened, trapped in terror. One by one, they were pulled into the painting, their bodies evaporating into strokes of color. Their voices became silent, their faces etched forever. Hours later, a new family entered the hallway, rolling their luggage behind them. They stopped at the painting. Inside it, Michael, Lillian, and Ava stared back, frozen mid-scream. And beside it stood Elias, painting a new detail as he looked over his shoulder at the newcomers. The father of the new family frowned. "Honey, was this in the listing?" The light flickered. The house welcomed them. Some art isn't meant to be admired. Some art is meant to devour. And at 14 Willow Lane, the painting is never finished. It simply waits for its next subject.